A very good evening to you all and welcome from me, Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, to News Tonight here on UBC TV. This Tuesday, the 28th day of October 2025. But first, let's have a look at our top stories.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
News Tonight. President Museveni assures victims of cattle rustling from Pokot of Amudat district of compensation. The Electoral Commission receives a consignment of the 2026 general elections biometric verification kits. Tanzanians go for polls tomorrow, Wednesday, October 29th, as leaders urge citizens to exercise responsible democracy. And in sports, the under-17 national football team, Uganda Cubs, set for the 2025 FIFA Under-17 World Cup in Qatar.
Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Hello there and welcome once again. We're coming to you live online and on air from Broadcasting House here on Nile Avenue. Now, we begin with President Yoweri Museveni, who joined thousands of Christians at St. Jude Thaddeus Church, Naguru, to mark the 71st National Day of St. Jude Thaddeus, the patron of desperate and lost causes. The main celebrant was Bishop Mark Kadima Wamukoya from Kenya, accompanied by Kenyan pilgrims. Take a watch.
Thousands of Christians from across the country gathered for the national celebration of St. Jude's Feast Day, which also marked 71 years since the devotion to St. Jude Thaddeus was first introduced in Uganda. The colorful event attracted religious leaders, political leaders, and over 1,000 pilgrims from the Diocese of Bungoma in Western Kenya. The celebrations began with the Holy Mass, led by Right Reverend Father Mark Kadima Wamkoya, Bishop of Bungoma Diocese. In his sermon, Bishop Kadima encouraged Christians to pray through St. Jude, the patron saint of desperate and lost causes, urging them to strengthen their faith through prayer and perseverance.
If you are desperate the way I am, that there are certain things which you need and cannot be fulfilled, you need St. Jude Thaddeus. The first thing you do is what Jesus did. He was God, but he sought the help of men, the help of others, the help of companions, the help of friends. He built a team.
In his address, President Museveni commended believers for their unwavering faith in God and emphasized the importance of unity and compassion among Ugandans.
And even another portion of the Bible, it says, we were created in the image of God. All of us, each one of us is a small God. So when you don't like me, you are really resisting God. Because I am the image of God, if you don't like me, I'm very sorry for you. He said,
he further encouraged the congregation to take advantage of government initiatives such as PDM and Emyoga, noting that these programs are designed to uplift communities from poverty and empower households economically.
The value addition of Christianity to our heritage, to our clans, our tribes. As you should know, these tribes are very strong, very deep in wealth creation, crops, agriculture, fisheries, skills in yoga, which we have now introduced to you. In yoga means specializations. That's why the Europeans were surprised when they came here. They were very surprised about the level of production.
Several political leaders attended the event, including State Minister for Lands Judith Nabakova and Margaret Nantongoziwa, who highlighted the importance of celebrating St. Jude's Feast Day.
He has been so helpful that he touches the vulnerable. And St. Jude always considers the desperate the vulnerable. So we are so grateful that Muzei has managed to come.
We have really grown spiritually, and we came here so heavy laden, and we want to believe that people are leaving this place blessed, especially the message from the leading bishop.
The day was marked by joyful praise, traditional performances, reflecting the deep devotion Catholics hold for St. Jude Thaddeus. Rebecca Nantongo, Kenneth Tanaba, UBC News.
President Yoweri Museveni has assured the people of Pokot in Amudat district that victims of cattle rustling by the Turkana from Kenya will receive compensation after the elections. Speaking during his campaign in Amudat, the president said he had reached an agreement with his Kenyan counterpart, William Ruto, holding the Kenyan government responsible for reimbursing the affected Pokot families.
On Tuesday, the NRM presidential candidate Yoweri Museveni presented his manifesto to the residents of Pokot at the Kalas Girls Primary School playground in Amudat district, the Karamoja sub-region.
NRM, oye! Thank you so much. Thank you for receiving the president and all the NRM members here in these great numbers. Thank you for proudly voting NRM 100%. And we celebrate Amudat in particular and Karamoja in general for that vote. Therefore, I trust that even this time we will make sure that Amudat will vote 100% for the president.
During his campaign, President Yoweri Museveni assured the people of Amudat who had suffered cattle losses to the Turkanas from Kenya that they would receive compensation. He disclosed that he had negotiated an agreement with the Kenyan President William Ruto to secure the necessary funds.
Because you know, the Banyankore believe a little bit in the law of Moses. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. If you kill a member of our clan, we must also pay revenge. If you don't want revenge, you come and we have peace. We call it Okaraba, to have a blood settlement. So the Kenyan government will pay for the families who... I will perform a ceremony in Moroto here with Mr. Ruto after the election. We don't have time now, but we'll come and perform a ceremony. So therefore, I could not accept this impunity of criminality.
Given that Amudat is a semi-arid district reliant on cattle rearing, President Museveni also committed to constructing water dams for the animals.
We are working out a plan for water for the rural areas, apart from the dams and the valley dams. You can see these activities like the other boy of the goats and sheep and the one of the pigs. They need water at each home. The other communal watering is no longer will not address their problem.
He encouraged the people of Amudat to capitalize on the existing peace in the region by engaging in income-generating activities to alleviate poverty. Additional promises included the upgrading and equipping of health facilities, the provision of free education, the construction of more schools, and the maintenance of peace and stability. Local leaders in Amudat expressed their appreciation to the president for facilitating the resettlement of the Pokot community back into Uganda, who had run to Kenya during the cattle rustling.
Say has brought us from afar. The party or the government of Uganda has relocated Pokots who had gone to settle in Kenya because of insecurity, back to Amudat. So the population of Amudat has increased just because of the new government we have today.
President Museveni was received by senior NRM leaders, ministers and officials from Amudat district, all of whom are optimistic about a victory for NRM.
And in every district we have gone to, we have this crowd, and it's a constant. We are not like other people who carry their supporters in every place they go to. For us, we find ours in each and every district. And that is how we have been operating, and we shall use that up to the end of the campaign. And during voting, definitely we should have another approach we are going to use to make sure that we whip everybody in the villages to come and vote.
I believe this time round we must achieve 70%, 70 and above. That is our aim. Not because we are seeing this through just the rallies that we have been seeing, but because of the responses we are getting from the people.
When you look at the percentage of President Museveni, Karamoja, Western Nile, and Lango, and Achori, we are in 85 to 90. So why do we fight with someone who's already failed? If Nanibe Diabakama has a good faith, you could not anyway waste time for other candidates. Let him win, announce, declare the winner.
Philip Aguta for UBC News in Amudat.
Thanks, Philip, for that story there. Now, Alliance for National Transformation, ANT presidential candidate General Mugisha Muntu's campaign in the Toro-Rwenzori sub-region is gaining ground with growing support for his message of integrity, good governance and improved service delivery. Our reporter Haruna Mtesasira is traveling with General Muntu and sent us this story.
While addressing rallies in the Bunyangabo and Ntoroko district, Muntu emphasized the need for a better infrastructure.
akagenda Museveni mu kibira
abantu babulembaza mu Rwanda muguma mu baro baba kuzemera mu bana banyu muguma mu baro nimuza kwerera nkaye mu rogoro mu rengu utombi nibijya kusoboroka be ibintu biza kusoboroka.
His campaign stands out for its grassroots approach, focusing on engaging rural communities and listening to their everyday challenges.
At business in Panyonda and Itambule Kunjim
Canal. Our bantu bava muchimu phobia we kuwa matabaga bawo. Era mpuri abatuka mu 19 wo mutwalo. Government mpuri ati yabasubiza okukola ki oba okubafunira wene bateeka na emyezi kiwedde mukaga tewana bawo ki government chebakoredde.
In Ntoroko, residents raised concerns about rising water levels from River Semriki, which affects school-going children.
Olaba government ngevudde ku kintu kyo ebyobulamu abantu okufa ku lw'ebbula ly'eddagala erye okusoma grades okubeereza wansi ez'emirimu abaana kugula emirimu mu districts zonna ekyo kyokka kikulaga nti abantu babavaako.
As his campaign gathers momentum across the Rwenzori region, Muntu's supporters remain hopeful that his anti-corruption and development-focused agenda will usher in a new era of accountable leadership in Uganda. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC News.
To other news now, and the Prime Minister of Uganda, Right Honourable Robina Nabanja, has resolved the standoff between landlords and tenants in Kampala's central business district following President Museveni's directive to allow traders resume normal business. The emergency meeting held at the office of the Prime Minister agreed that tenants will continue paying rent at current approved rates until the 2026-2027 financial year.
Landlords Godfrey Chirumira and Tom Chitandwe pledged to maintain dialogue with tenants to avoid future clashes.
Owekitiibwa President yankubidde ku simu n'alagira amangu ddala mbagirawo tukole olukiiko luno tulabe butya bwe tuteeka ebifo byaffe wamu kulaba abasuubuzi baffe bafuna emirembe. And so nabayise mu kaseera katono naye lw'ekiragiro ky'omukulu w'eggwanga njagala okubasiima olw'okujja on short notice. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. Nafuna petitioni y'abasuubuzi nga 6/9 omwaka guno era nga balina ensonga zaabwe ezikwata eggaliraaya kuba landlord, Gazaland, Grand Corner, Arcades gye bakolera emirimu gyabwe.
Minister for Kampala Minsa Kabanda and Mayor Salim Uhuru hailed the meeting as successful.
We have tasked them that they should work with the landlords because they own each other. So I think that problem has been solved. And another problem was about the law enforcement officers who are just picking this for anyhow. This time we have given a Sunday market to the vendors. So beginning next week, I think we're going to sit with security, we are going to sit with KCCA, and they are going to start working on Sundays. So that means every Sundays they have to be on duty.
The resolutions, number one, is the rent should not be increased as per now. That is a distinction. The electricity tariff should remain as it was and as is. That is another win. Then the landlords will be issuing official IFRI's receipts, whereby you pay your money and you actually see what you're paying for.
Trader representatives John Kabanda and Edward Ntale thanked the government for its swift response.
Abantu bano twogedde ku lisiti ze batasaako ssente. Naye n'okugigaba obugabi tebagigaba. Ogendera mukyala Nabukeera Christine ku kizimbe kya Nana Center edduuka D21 lyali eryange n'akugamba nti mpa ssente $3.3 n'otambula n'ogenda kwogeza n'osaba lisiiti nga gamba omwezi ogujja edduuka lyange ndyagala bwe mba nnimba omujulizi wange agenda kubeera chairman wa Bugagga kwagalana.
We are going to enter into a tenancy relationship with the landlord where the rent is above the equivalent of 400,000 shillings. It must be in writing. But what we hear from here is that they actually don't get these written agreements.
Kubabadde bakayana naye tukyatudde nabo ffe mmoto yaffe egamba teri azanyira kumupangisa.
A subcommittee chaired by KCCA's Benon Chigenyi was formed to oversee implementation and address pending issues like electricity payments, with a progress report expected by 11th November 2025.
Now, the Electoral Commission is closer to preparations for the 2026 general elections with the arrival of the first consignment of biometric verification kits. The new technology will enhance voter identification and promote transparency in the electoral process. Now, 2 kits will be deployed at every polling station. Our reporter Ivan Kawa was at Tebe International Airport when that first consignment of the biometric verification kits arrived and sent us this story.
The Electoral Commission has received the first consignment of the biometric voter verification kits at the Entebbe International Airport. These kits will be used to prevent election malpractice and ballot stuffing. Tuesday midnight, the Electoral Commission chairperson, Justice Simon Byabakama, received the first batch at the Entebbe International Airport.
Here we are surrounded by a consignment of 60,000 biometric verification kits, which are going to be used for polling or voting in January in the 2026 general elections, presidential, parliamentary and local government elections.
The kits will be used to verify and track voters during the exercise,
so that no voter will be given a ballot paper when he or she has not been biometrically identified. And secondly, this kit is going to enable us to count only those valid votes which are being put in the ballot box. Okay? If there are any strange ballots which some people may try to introduce, this kit is going to sort them out for us.
According to Justice Byabakama, the new kits come with enhanced features aimed at strengthening the credibility of the electoral process.
We shall tell you at the appropriate time. For now, we are just receiving the kits. They are here. Now, we are now going to inform the people of Uganda, inform them, sensitize them, educate them how these kits are going to be utilized. But I can assure you, these kits are going to tremendously improve on our electoral processes, especially on polling day.
Simi Valley was contracted to supply over 10,000 biometric verification kits, and the Commission plans to deploy at least 2 kits per polling station.
And we are sure that the remaining 40,000 something kits will also be in the country by the end of November as promised. So I want to assure the people of Uganda, the Electoral Commission is committed in ensuring that our elections take place on time, that every vote counts, and will be purely and specifically one man, one vote.
With 8 presidential candidates on the ballot paper, each candidate representing a political party, come January 15th, 2026, Ugandans will decide who among the 8 candidates will lead them from 2026 to 2031. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News at the Entebbe International Airport.
President Yoweri Museveni has appointed Lionel Anguzu the new Director of Public Prosecutions. Anguzu, who has been serving as Assistant DPP, replaces Justice Jane Frances Abodo, who was recently appointed Principal Judge. A communication from the Senior Presidential Press Secretary, Sando Rwalusimbi, the President has forwarded Anguzu's name to Parliament's Appointments Committee for vetting and approval. Once approved, Anguzu will assume leadership of the Directorate of Public Prosecutions, the body mandated to direct, control and supervise criminal prosecutions on behalf of the state.
With Momo, you have the power to pay for shopping more easily using your phone. Dial *165*3# or scan to download Momo app and pay for anything. No hassling for change. And even better, if you run out of money while paying, you can simply add core with Momo Advance. That's Momo. That's the power to be more.
You see, I've been a painter for almost 4 decades, and I have found Global Paints to be very reliable. First, everyone knows we use Global Paint undercoat. Now, for the best results, I continue with Global Paints products. I go for Silk Vinyl when it comes to the interior. Then Global Matte for the ceiling, and when it comes to weatherproof, I go for Global Weather Coat Emulsion. With that one, the house will never peel. Now, there you have a sparkling, magical looking house. And then the client is very happy. He recommends me to another person who recommends me to another person who recommended me to come and do the advert.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
Ochikoze mwana. Shop is stocked, customers ready. Now it's time for takeoff. So offer them more. Become a Wendy agent today and offer mobile money top-ups, customer service support, utility payments, water, power, pay TV. You're now. Turn your shop into a Wendy agent hub and commissions on every tap and easy access to loans.
That's right. More foot traffic, more sales, more profit, paid instantly. Register free. Call 0800 217 200 or WhatsApp 0707 993 930.
Wendy Wonawoli.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. Warm welcome to those of you just joining us. President Yoweri Museveni has expressed his condolences to the family, friends and faithful of the late Bishop of Jinja Diocese, Right Reverend Charles Martin Wamika, who was laid to rest at St. Joseph's Cathedral, Jinja. The condolence message was delivered by the third Deputy Prime Minister, Hajat Rukia Isanga Nakadama. Take a watch.
While you are only 3 days in the tomb, your Lord, the graves of all who believe in you, and so made the grave a sign of hope that promises resurrection, even as it claims our mortal bodies.
We are in profound shock that we lost our dear bishop. But most importantly, as members of Jinja Diocese, we appreciate his life and we praise God for that gift. He has been a person who is dedicated and committed to serve especially the underprivileged.
Through Hajat Isanga Nakadama, Museveni praised Bishop Wamika's spiritual service and diocese contributions. He urged Christians and all Ugandans to continue supporting government programs that improve livelihoods.
I wish to commiserate with Jinja Diocese for losing a dedicated shepherd and spiritual leader. The late Bishop will be remembered as a humble and selfless servant of God. I thank him for encouraging the believers to embrace government programs.
Metropolitan Archbishop Right Reverend Emmanuel Obo led the burial, honoring the bishop's dedicated service.
The bishop has been moving in different places, even in my place, in my diocese, the other side. They said he taught the people of Jinja how to learn to be self-reliant. During this time of transition, be one. Be united for the common good.
Chief Mourner Justin Lumumba urged Christians to emulate his humility, while Caroline Chiwala thanked the president and church leaders for their support.
President Yoweri Museveni yali wogana okubona nga Bishop Waifuna agalamire atandika omulimu gwe okukola omulimu gw'obusumba mu Busoga tiyalutumira mwana mwene yakola ki yasituka yayida.
On behalf of the family and the team leader of those who have been taking care of Bishop, I want to thank all of you who have stood with him. I want to tell the community gathered here that all for the time Bishop has been sick in Zambia, all the bills were paid by the president.
Professor Joseph Muvawala, Obwachabazinga bwa Busoga, called on Christians to give back to the church. Bishop Wamika, who led since 2010, died at 72, leaving a lasting legacy.
And may his soul rest in eternal peace. Now, Abraham Luzi a candidate for the Kampala Central parliamentary seat, has announced that he will avoid traditional mass political rallies, opting instead for smart campaigns to prevent disruption by security forces. Luzi also emphasized his commitment to raising educational standards for political leaders, proposing that all candidates should hold university degrees if elected.
Abraham Luzi, a prominent Kampala businessman, is back in the political arena, this time contesting for the Kampala Central parliamentary seat. In the last election, he ran for the Mutiana MP seat but was defeated.
And I'm here as a reformist, it's part of my manifesto, and I'm saying there are a number of points or reforms we need to improve on qualifications of a quality member of parliament that we assume that can actually enhance any service delivery or law amendment or policies that govern this country.
Since his recent nomination, Luzi has vowed not to use billboards or hold traditional political rallies like other candidates, opting instead for alternative campaign methods. Luzi also announced that if elected, one of his first actions would be to reduce the number of public servants.
Also, we are suggesting that all MPs and civil servants should be withdrawn off all bodyguards as long as this country is safe, as we claim, as we would wish to have it. No need of bodyguards to cut on the costs of all those funds we spend on these civil servants. Also, we want also to make it clear that it is okay if indeed you have come to serve our country as a patriot, you have not come to seek for jobs. We should trim off all those salaries. A member of parliament and many public servants, at least for a member of parliament, should have a 2 million salary.
If elected, Luzi pledges to ensure that every child born receives an ID, passport and birth certificate. He also advocated that all political candidates vying for parliamentary seats hold universal degree for qualified leadership.
Citizens, I believe it was a mistake to allow that the minimum requirement for member of parliament qualifications, that it is senior 6. To me, I propose that it should be risen and put at least a minimum of degree or above. It should come with a medical cover or insurance. And indeed, this shall show that you are capable and you're able to take care of yourself other than exorbitantly spending on any of those MPs or public servants. At least a member of parliament should have his own means of transport and to a level of V8. VTs, please, sorry, not yet.
For UBC.
Uganda's Generation Z has officially launched the Unstoppable UG campaign to rally support for President Yoweri Museveni ahead of the 2026 general elections. The campaign caravan started in Kampala, traveled through the city and continued to Jinja with plans to cover the entire country.
Designed as an innovative movement, Unstoppable UG combines entertainment, dialogue and direct mobilization to back President Museveni's re-election bid.
Unstoppable, our economy is growing. We are growing in variation, pharmaceuticals, coffee, etc. Uganda is doing things that looked like magic 20-30 years ago. The economy is now 66 billion plus, etc. So Uganda is unstoppable. So the Gen Zs are saying they are going to move around the country, speaking to their fellow Gen Zs about the beauty and potential of Uganda.
Duncan Abigaba, chairman of Unstoppable UG, explained that the caravan will stop in major towns to showcase NRM achievements and encourage citizen participation.
In every major town of this country, they are also going to be studios for podcasts, conversations hosted by Gen Zs and hosting Gen Zs to talk about different subjects. Their hustle, their business, their work, entertainment, sports, etc.
NRM mobilizer Moses Sally emphasized that the campaign will focus on youth engagement, educating them about government programs that improve livelihoods.
Are we asking our leaders?
Let's move from Kampala city and go to eastern Uganda, to Ngora specifically, where Ngora County Member of Parliament and NRM flag bearer Honorable Juliet Achayo Lodo has dedicated her re-election bid to God during prayers at Kodike Pag Church. Accompanied by her husband, Achayo sought divine guidance for the campaign season. We have more in this story.
She urged residents to embrace government programs for poverty eradication and socio-economic transformation, while calling on NRM grassroots leaders to strengthen mobilization ahead of the 2026 polls.
Key to note of the manifesto is to see that we are transforming the lives of the people, socio-economic transformation. How are we going to do that? By people embracing the government programs. For example, PDM, there's a plan for the NRM government to double the figures and see that grassroots people benefit this.
Achayo highlighted her achievements and pledged continued collaboration with local leaders to improve livelihoods. She also asked church leaders to keep her in prayers.
Your hands for the last 5 years. Now it's your time to also hold back my hand and pull me to where I'm supposed to be. I have lobbied for the people, advocated for better services for them. For example, we have an ambulance that I lobbied from the Ministry of Health. We have a new unit that was constructed at Health Center 4, and then we have lobbied for beds and other amenities of the hospital in the constituency. And in regards to education, we have also taken a milestone, have lobbied for the different categories of items. For example, the textbooks have achieved, and then the performance of the children. We're also ensuring that the learners are getting quality education.
Afande Kolot encouraged voters to elect committed leaders and rallied support for President Museveni, praising him as a God-fearing leader.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni
what the NRM government has done for us in Ngora district, we have a reason to celebrate NRM.
PAG overseer Michael Ciel commended Achayo for her humility and dedication to service.
Are we happy? Yes!
Busia NRM party leaders have started energizing structure leaders with efforts to revitalize grassroots support through direct engagement in strategic mobilization campaigns. The energizing engagement at Masafu Town Council in Samia Bugwe Central and Busia Municipality was led by the NRM National Treasurer Nekesa Barbara Owundo, together with party leaders and cultural leaders from the Owenengo Bugwe, among others. Now, structure leaders promised to canvass votes for President Yoweri Museveni in Busia district.
As the young people, first of all, we need to appreciate the initiative by the president to see that he brings in such initiatives to help the young people. Basically, PDM, you realize PDM in contrast to the youth livelihood program. PDM, you realize that in every year, at least we realize that there's 300 billion dispersed to the young people. Literally meaning that every parish is able to get at least 100 million for PDM, of which the 30 million of that 100 million goes to the young people. I believe, and I want to say this with better authority as a chairman, that the young people at least have improved financially or economically. We realize that the status of the young people have improved. For those of us who have taken good utility of the money, that who have initiated into projects like poultry, other farming issues and other small businesses.
Tumamua marai kwa bidii na amani, sisi kama vijana na wanabusia. Marai nataka kuhakikisha watu wa opposition wote ya kwamba Busia tuko naompa rais wetu mpendwa 99% kura ya marai.
Tumeanza na structure zetu za chini. Tumeanzia chini kwa village mpaka kwa municipality yote, kama hao wa vijana tunawaambia kutafutia mzee kura.
Joined day 2 of our efforts of
calling on our grassroots leaders to not only support the NRM, but mobilize for the NRM party. As a party, we have been around for some time, for a couple of years. There are milestones that we have achieved as a party, but there are those that are still pending, promises that we made that fall under the categories of the unfulfilled pledges. As we go around the country, we are tasking our district leadership to profile both the fulfilled and the unfulfilled pledges. But not only that, we also want them to profile the achievements, the general achievements of the NRM government. One, it is for us to be able to explain to the Wananchi, to take stock of what we have done as a government, and when we talk about protecting the gains, what are we talking about?
Yet another short break and return with the latest in business.
Nateranga nyingiro ne banafa ba MTN wanji MTN walalo MTN gamachi to get the power to win njagalo ofuna elyanyi okuwangula ogenda kuwangula ota ngenda kubanga obukadde 10 buli wiki wanji ngenda kubanga kwasa obukadde 10 buli wiki ku simu ye nyinyi kyabonka kimu kyokka line ya MTN banabeka buli ogenda okusasula ekintu kyonna ogenda okusasula ndakwese momo obulira buli ogenda okusasula ngenda kyosasula kyonna kozesa momo oyinza okulanga ngenda kwewola kasente kozesa momo wanje ogenda ku investinga kozesa momo abwe MTN we jamani ne kwa bukadde 10 buli wiki wala kastello bimala bwe pa wentandika ngamba kyekiriwo wanje nenkwata ku masimu ngamba halo walirudawa tenze tirinyi halo walirudawa zende guru halo walirudawa ndi mutukula halo oliwa ndi mwanange ndi wano mu office ntudde nyiga ma computer nenkuta awa namwe kasana benesi okubelanga mwana wote koze bitu no amanga epeyinze ebolowinze investinze ngekozesa momo. Remember to dial star 165# or use the Momo app to borrow, to pay, to invest, and you could stand a chance to win 10 million weekly.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels, and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukota Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
Welcome back. Let's have a look now at what's making news in as far as business is concerned. Police have arrested 4 people in a joint operation led by Uganda National Bureau of Standards, UNBAS. The suspects, linked to Home Base Paint SMC Limited, were found with fake paint, manufacturing equipment and raw materials.
The operation started at State Square near the Central Police Station, with the officers briefing to track down the suspects accused of producing and selling fake paint.
What are the 2 things ahead? Number 1, you go for such a duty, you have been deployed, you resort to Leaving your point, you go to converse.
At Aruapaka area and other shops, UNBS officials inspected and analyzed the product labels certified by UNBS, after which some shop owners were cautioned. Police and UNBS officials found most of the targeted shops closed. At Naiga Chambers, they found a rooftop workshop used for mixing various kinds of paint. At the premises of Home-Based Paint SMS Limited, a man identified as Rumal was found attempting to lock the facility. He was put on notice after denying ownership of the premises, claiming he had only come to buy paint, but later contradicted himself during questioning.
No police will put in a yako, Gambi take a while. Era Samadana no be take a while. Wano, we now work apart.
Some female workers who were found at the facility also denied having any knowledge of the fake paint operations. Later, another man who confessed that he had come to collect a customer's paint was also brought to book. A man found in possession of fake paint during the operation was arrested. UNBS spokesperson Sylvia Kirabo says the agency has received multiple complaints from the public on fake products.
Formed us to come here is from around August this year. We have been undertaking countrywide surveillance operations. And when we confiscate products from across the country, they usually point us to Kampala. They usually point us back to Kampala, that this is the hub. This is where the actual adulteration and manufacturing takes place. So when they manufacture from here, then they distribute far from Kampala across the country. So we are working on market intelligence information. So we have encountered many of the other people they've been supplying across the country.
UNBS confirmed they found unfinished and finished products, as well as raw materials at the facility.
So we have found finished products where they have forged seals. You've been able to see the seals from the premises. So they finish the product and pack it in a known brand packaging material. And then they have their outlets. They have retail facilities and retailers that they are supplying these products to. So as we were moving around, we were able to see some of these shops that are actually stocking these products.
Police confirms that the 4 arrested suspects are in custody. Amwai Vanjuko and Stephen Kalisia for UBC.
Uganda National Council for Science and Technology has called on research ethics committees to uphold high ethical standards to ensure quality research in the country. Acting Executive Secretary Dr. David Seruka emphasized that adherence to ethical guidelines builds trust in research outcomes.
Speaking at the 41st Forum for the Research Ethics Committee chairpersons in Kampala, Dr. Seruka challenged the committees to rigorously monitor research activities to meet national standards.
We look forward to your stewardship in guiding the next phase of ethics oversight, especially as we integrate new technologies, emerging biomedical innovations, and data-intensive research into our national regulatory landscape.
Improving the quality of knowledge in the country and to make sure that the research outputs that we are giving out is of better quality and that of course leads to trust in Uganda's sons, and that eventually will build the goods and services that we need to create jobs and industries to help us advance further.
Professor Grace Ndezi, chairperson of the Forum for Research Ethics Committees in Uganda, added that all stages of the research process should be closely supervised to ensure compliance with ethical protocols.
We are the ones who approve these protocols. So after you have approved a protocol, especially when you are dealing with intervention research, you are supposed to monitor the progress and the conduct of these studies to ensure participant safety, to ensure that the ethics of the research protocol are adhered to. Some researchers, after they have got approval, they can do things which are not within the protocol.
Dr. Nelson Nakwagala, chair of the accreditation committee at Uganda National Council for Science and Technology, noted that research ethics committees operate in higher institutions, research centers and hospitals, with UNCST regulating all research practices nationwide.
Now for us, the work of the accreditation committee is to monitor in turn how these research ethics committees are doing their work of monitoring. So it's like a back-to-back and a quality control mechanism of how monitoring is being done by those committees. So for example, we have put a guideline that every study that has high risk should be monitored at least once a year. For example, clinical trials where drugs and substances are being experimented on people, they have to be monitored at least once a year.
The Council urged committees to remain vigilant and ensure that all research conducted in Uganda adheres to established ethical standards, strengthening the credibility and reliability of the scientific findings.
Muslims in Katabi Town Council in Tebe have launched an interest-free Sacco to boost economic empowerment and sustainable development. Established under the Structured Imams and Amirats Association of Katabi, the initiative was unveiled during a ceremony attended by religious leaders, government officials and community members.
On sustainable development strategies so that they can be financially independent.
The association chairperson, Swale Abdallah, said the Sacco will improve Imams' welfare and promote savings and investments in line with Islamic principles.
The Katabi Imams and Muslim Association, established in 2025, proudly represents the voice of over 5,000 Muslims and Imams in Katabi Town Council. The association is shaping positively socio-economical impact on the lives of Imam and Muslim through our network that spans over 30 mosques, connecting a strong community of Muslims daily.
Jubilee Insurance educated attendees on smart saving, while Issa Chiralila of Nile Humanitarian Agency urged support for initiatives that uplift Imams. Wakiso District Chairperson Matia Wamika encouraged investment in larger projects, and Sheikh Said Kasauli stressed unity and responsible guidance during elections.
They need guidance in terms of what is to invest in order to get some money. You will find them all doing the same business. In most cases, event management, like buying tents, buying tables, buying chairs, and sometimes utensils for catering. So my piece of advice is, instead of doing show the small kind of investments, let them engage in concentrating on one kind of business, but they make it mega so that it can compete in the world for better results in terms of bringing returns of profits and lacking that big competition.
Joseph Chigozgola, Jamil Sekaja for UBC.
Coffee spirit, Simba G. Coffee spirit, Simba G. Check on down the cup. SMS the code. Wamule virabo. Tulaga manyi. Karuka sita wabuza. Masaba maji. Masaba maji. We call him Masavu ne Premier Distilleries. Simply buy Coffee Spirit or Simba Gin. Check under the cap, send the code to 6688 and stand a chance to win border borders, tuk-tuks, cash, airtime, flat screens, mobile phones and a grand prize of 50 million Uganda shillings. This promotion is valid for a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply. Alcohol is not for sale to persons under 18. Please drink responsibly.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotellaconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Welcome back. Let's have a look now at the latest in sports. The under-17 national football team, the Uganda Cubs, are set to compete in the upcoming 2025 FIFA Under-17 World Cup in Qatar, scheduled to run from November 3rd to November 27th, 2025. Now, this will mark a historic milestone for Uganda, because it will be the first time a Ugandan national football team has appeared at a FIFA World Cup at any level. Uganda has been drawn in Group K, where they will face Canada, Chile and France. The Uganda Cubs are expected to fly the national flag high as they face some of the biggest footballing nations in the world, carrying the dreams and hopes of millions of Ugandans. Preparations are ongoing to ensure the team garners the best results out of the tournament. And we do wish the Uganda Cubs all the best at that tournament. And that brings us to the end of this first edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV. Thank you so much for having kept us company. I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, wishing you a blessed night. But do remember that our second and final edition of the day comes your way at 10 p.m.